Well, hi. As you can see, I'm not at my piano. Not today. Um, there's a reason for that. Yeah. I sold my house yesterday. My house. That's where I am. I'm on my deck of my house. And yeah, yesterday I sold my house. I've been in this house about, I don't know, a year and a half. And there's been a lot of stuff happen in this house. A lot of stuff. I went through a lot here, a real lot. I went through a lot of growth in this house, which I really, really needed. My piano opened up totally in this house. I couldn't play like that before, not by a long shot. I went through a lot of emotional upheaval, a lot of incredible joy, amazing joy, fun, laughter, tons of laughter, a lot of pain, a lot of disbelief, all kinds of. This house, I've been through so much in this house in a very short period of time. And it's been quite a little journey in this house, a lot of transformation. And I think probably because of, again, we talk from our experience. I'm going to talk today, I think, about, and this is kind of really important to me, and I really want to share it with you. Oh, by the way, the piano music that you're probably hearing it's one of my pieces that I've recorded earlier. Because I can't be at my piano, then I'm doing it this way. But I've been, preparing to leave my house. I actually will be leaving it within the next month. My house actually closes on August 27th, and I bought a house in Kentucky, and that closes on August 27th. So, cross your fingers that the borders are open and it's clear sailing, because otherwise, I may be on a sidewalk. That's funny, it's not true, but in any case, yeah. But anyway, because of a lot of the stuff I went through, I want to talk to you about some of that, and maybe share some of that journey, because I think it's hopefully it'll be helpful to somebody. That's why I do this stuff. There's something right now happening on Earth, on this planet, and it's called like the whole planet is transitioning. We're transitioning from what is called like a third density to a fifth density. And the reason this is really, really important is because it has to do with quite a lot of things that are happening to you, me, everybody now, and has been for a while. And I guess I just wanted to, talk about that a little bit. The third density is what we've been living through for a very, very long time. It's the density where we trusted our governments and, where we trusted our medical system. Well, many of us did. I wasn't one of those. But many did. Our educational system, I wasn't one of those, but many were. Our governments, I wasn't one of those. It's kind of getting funny now, right? Was there any system I trusted? No. No, none of them. Not religious systems, nothing. Do I believe in like an amazing creator, that goes by many names, by people like God, the creator, source, consciousness, the amazing intelligent creativity that is like, the big kahuna for it all. Oh yeah. Jesus? Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Somebody asked me not too long ago, I was talking actually to the real estate agent, that the only person I know in Kentucky, the real estate agent. And she said, she asked me a few questions, and we just got kind of talking a bit. And she said, oh, well, she says, are you a Christian? And I said, well, I really love Jesus, like with all my heart, but I'm not a Christian. And she went, what? I won't bother going into that right now, but it has to do with, Christianity is not, that wasn't Jesus. In any case, yeah, I really do love Jesus, and I certainly love God so much, so much. Anyway, third density it's kind of what we've all been like subjected to for a very long time. It's a system where you're kind of born into a life, and you're conditioned from early on. When you go to school as a little kid, you're conditioned to obey, and you're conditioned to to ask if you have to go to the bathroom. I understand why that all is and stuff, but still, it's programming. Which, I won't even get into TV right now, but TV programs, enough said, right? Anyway, you're conditioned like, well, you can eat, but it only has to be between this time and that time. You can play, but it's got to be this time to that time. All kinds of conditioning. You're taught many things that are like totally not true. There's a lot of things that are truth you're never taught. Like in this country, when I was going to school, I was never taught anything about our Aboriginal culture. Not a thing. I didn't even know it really even existed, except for when we'd be driving from, like I'd be a little kid and we'd go to Halifax, for the day, and we go by a little place in Nova Scotia called Shubenacadie or Stewiacke. Those were like reserves. And we would see the Aboriginal Mi'kmaq people, and they'd have their businesses. They'd be selling baskets, and they'd be doing things like that. And it looked like it looked like a whole thing I didn't know anything about. I'm so separate from it. What a disservice. Sorry, I hit my mic. But what a disservice. I almost cry when I think about it. I could get a little emotional here today. That incredibly beautiful culture that was so totally decimated. Possibly I may get a little emotional today, okay? I didn't intend to, not my plan. What is it they say? If you want to give God a joke, tell him your plan. Anyway, I'll try to not get, I'll try to curtail that a bit. But, yeah. When I think about what's been done to humanity, it's been a lot. And you're finding out things now, and you'll find out a lot more. You'll find out a lot more. There's a lot of stuff coming. What's been done it'll like shock you. Quite frankly, it's gonna shock you to think that there could be forces so evil that would do the things they've done to humans of every race, every country, every culture. But anyway, third density has been not a good thing. Third density has been a density that's been driven by ego. It's been driven by the greed. It's been driven by, what do they say, dog eat dog world kind of thing, that sort of thing, where you don't give a shit about your neighbor. You don't care for anybody except yourself or your immediate family, and sometimes not even that. I mean, you hurt even your family, right? But third density has just been a horror story, and it's gone on for a very, very long time. I mean, when you look back at all the civilizations that have come and gone, I mean, when you look at, for example, I found out recently, because I do a lot of research, I found out recently the whole reason for the Second World War, the whole entire agenda for the Second World War. What I'm going to say to you, you may not believe, it may not resonate with you, you may think it's a bunch of fantasy, but believe me, it is not. And if you start digging, you will find that what I'm saying is absolutely true. Absolutely true, because I've done the digging on it. Well, do you know what? Do you know what the whole agenda was for the Second World War? They wanted to wipe out Jesus' bloodline. That was it. The Jewish people. Jesus was a Jew. And, you know, there's a lot about Jesus. You probably have, well, all of religions have totally told you wrong shit about that. But anyway, yeah, Jesus was a Jew, and he did have children. There's a whole different story, and you're going to find that out. It's coming. It's coming. You will know about it. You will know about it. And if you dig now, if you want to know, start digging. Ask me. I'll send you some information. I'll send you links, yeah, of people who have actually done a lot of digging. Anyway, yeah, the whole thing was they didn't want the Jewish bloodline. That was why they tried to decimate all the Jewish people, and that was why. That was why the whole Second World War. That was it. Everything else was just a story built around it. Both sides were funded by the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, both sides, the Allies and the, and the Nazis. Like, they were both funded by the same people. They were both, anyway. Third density has been not a pretty place, okay? It's been really, really bad. And we have all been victims of that. We've all been subjected to it, and we've all been divided. We've all been divided from each other. The whole thing was polarity, to get everybody separated from everybody else. You know, get the males, you know, men not liking women, women not liking men, races not liking each other, you know, countries fighting with each other, political groups that were, like, you name it, name it. Look at it, polarity everywhere, duality everywhere. Because third density has been all about duality, and there's been a lot of reason for that too, and that goes back a long way, and that's been going on for a very long time. Well, this whole thing that we were put into, this whole programming that we've all been subjected to, you know, from the time you're like a little kid, and your parents have been controlled this way, and then they controlled you, and like the whole thing is just down, on and on and on and on, and like it, you know, snowballed. And, you know, otherwise known as the Matrix. Otherwise known as the Matrix. Why do I say Matrix? Well, if you've seen the movie. I've talked to you in videos recently where I talk about, don't buy it. Does it resonate with your heart? Something seemed not quite right? Don't buy it. Look further. Don't turn away because you think somebody might not agree with you. You know? Don't do that. Whether somebody agrees with you or doesn't agree with you doesn't matter. You know? Doesn't matter. What matters is, how's it feel to you? Does it make sense to you? You know? Here's one thing. Tell me if this makes sense to you. You go to an airport because you want to get on a plane and go somewhere. You got to stay 6 feet apart from everybody in that airport, and you got to wear a mask. You got to stay 6 feet apart from everybody. Then you get on a plane for 4 hours and you sit right beside people. Really? Really? Like, does that make sense to you? There's so much about this that doesn't make sense. I don't even have to tell you. You already know. All you got to do is just look around. Thing is, people are too scared. They're too scared. They're too afraid because they bought that somebody can hurt them. They've bought that something bad will happen to them if they don't agree and don't go along with it. Do you know how many people actually want to be out running around with masks on in 31-degree weather? Really? Number one, you can't breathe. Number two, you're breathing your own carbon dioxide. Number three, you're going to get sick. How many people don't want to do that, but they just are scared that somebody's going to go against them or give them a hard time or say something mean or give them a dirty look or they might get a fine. Do you know that they've given lots of fines to people? Not one has been enforced. Not one. Not one. Not one. Because they can't. That's why. But anyway, that's third density. They're trying desperately to keep everybody locked down and brainwashed to all of this. You know, all of Canada and a lot of the world is like opened up right now. Some parts not. Australia not. Canada. Well, a lot of Canada is, but not Manitoba. Not Manitoba. Why is that? You know? Anyway, third density programming. The only thing that is stopping you from the beauty of what's actually sitting right here is your belief that it isn't. I told you about that in the last video. You know, I did. I'm going to tell you about fifth density. Fifth density, there's no ego. When you're in fifth density, ego, there's no ego there. No. Fifth density is you actually care for somebody else more than yourself. You care for yourself a whole hell of a lot because you can't care for anybody if you don't care for yourself. If you cannot connect with your own heart and value your God-given life given you by God, if you cannot value and cherish that, how the hell are you going to cherish somebody else? You tell me. How? There's no way. If you can't totally embrace, cherish, and love who you are, the beauty you are, you're a piece of God. God created you and me in His image. If you can't love that, forgive that, if you can't give that a pass when you're having a hard day, how the hell are you going to do it for somebody else? How are you going to feel? How are you going to even see somebody who's being hurt? How are you going to even see it if you're caught up into your own head about your own shit? You won't even see anybody else. You know? It's about being bigger than yourself. But you got to be big yourself first. And big yourself is not ego, and it's not big head, it's none of that. It's big in love. And you know what? Love is not the end game. No. Love is the step to where the end game eventually is. Love is the first step. Do you know how powerful you are? Do you know how powerful you are? Do you know the magic you are? Do you know the magic you are? I'll tell you a cute little story that happened to me the other day. I was over at Clearwater, where Dean lives, Dean and I's other house. Anyway, I was over there and we were taking Jenny for a walk. Jenny is blind. She's a beautiful dog. She's our dog. And Jenny is blind. She's pretty old now and she's blind. And the amount of the people I have learned from Jenny, the amount people learn from Jenny is incredible. Jenny is so selfless. Jenny has no ego, you know? Jenny is beautiful. Jenny loves. Blind, never complains. She's beautiful. Anyway, we were taken for a walk, and there's this little pathway we go to a little park. Anyway, the pathway up into the park, a little sort of cement kind of walkway thing, and a couple of our neighbors from just up the street over there, they're grandparents, and they have their two little grandkids, 2 and 3 or something. They're very young, riding little bikes. They were coming this way, and we were going this way, and the little boy, he was terrified to walk by us because he's scared of dogs, because they had a little dog. One of my best friends in the world ever. His name was Taz. If you go on my website, I've got pictures of Taz on there. He's a little guy, but this big. Taz, we all lost Taz. Probably about, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago. I love Taz with all my heart. Taz was one of my dogs too. Anyway, Taz at this point scared the little boy when he'd be quite a little bit younger. So now this little boy was very, very scared of dogs. He didn't want to even go near them. He wouldn't come. And his grandpa couldn't get him calm, his grandma couldn't get him calm. So I had this brainwave. I guess you call it a brainwave, or you might call it I don't know what you call it, but anyway, I had it. And I went, oh, I said, I know how to fix this. I said, I've got magic. And the little kid, and the grandparents said, okay. The little kid goes, he was really skeptical, right? He goes, and I go, yeah, I've got magic. You watch what I'm gonna do. You watch. And I went like up the walkway a little ways, and I strung out this. I said, this is a glowing magic light. It's a glowing magic light. I'm gonna weave it all out like this. I'm gonna make a fence, okay? I'm gonna make a fence. You can walk. You can go on that side of the fence. Jenny's on this side. She can't get across. She can't get you. Nobody can get you. This fence is. And I go, look at it. It's right there. See how pretty it is? He's looking, and I go, you see, it's right there. And he kind of goes, he wasn't really seeing it, but he was kind of believing that it might actually be there. And I went, yeah, it's fine. It's there. So he goes, he inches his way along on his bike, and he comes along, and he knows the magic fence is there. And he comes by on his bike. And he was okay then. Jenny was blind, peeing. And Dennis, his granddad, said, I wish I had one of those magic lights that you have. I said, you do, Dennis, you do. It's in your fingers. You just gotta put it out. They thought I was fantasizing. I wasn't. I'm serious, I wasn't fantasizing. I saw that light. Now you'll think I'm fantasizing, right? Now you're gonna think, yeah, okay. Or spends too much time alone. No. Thing is, I spend my time alone, which I do spend a lot of time alone. It's where I get in touch with my magic. I create my magic. Because you know, the other thing is the 5D world that we are, it's right here. You don't have to go anywhere for it, it's right here. It's, as I said in the last video, right? It's just a perception. It's a shift in perception. Okay, so people are going then, somebody might go, all right, well, I got a lot of pain. How am I gonna do this, crazy thing you're saying. How are you even going to see it? I'm going to tell you about that, okay? Because I know how that works, actually. The reason I know is because I've done it. That's why I know. I've seen it work. I'm going to tell you. What I talked about just at the beginning here, all the pain that there is, that's the collective emotion, the collective experience of humanity. It's everywhere. There's a lot of it. You know it. I know it. It's very, very easy to feel it. You can feel it if you're looking. If you're not looking, you can ignore it. You can pretend it's not there. You can watch Netflix, drink a beer, smoke a joint, eat some sort of crap, and pretend that life is, like it always was. That's your choice too. You got free will. And it is free will. You can do whatever you want, as long as you're not harming somebody else. But I'll tell you how it works. And I had this happen actually this morning. I did a meditation. I meditate quite a lot because that's where you get in touch with the truth, which is inside. Your truths aren't out there somewhere, and they're not by some guru, and they're anywhere. They're nowhere out there. Your truth is always inside, because all that you know, you have. It's already there. It's already there. You just have to access it. But it can be covered up and obscured by a lot of pain, past, stuff like that. Well, this morning I was doing a meditation, and I had this wave of grief and loss come over me about, recent stuff, And, well, you don't know, but take my word for it. Anyway, stuff I didn't think was really there too much, but it was. Anyway, I had this just huge blanket of real grief come over me. And I started crying. But I knew what was happening too. I knew that that wasn't me. That was something that I had in my experience, and that was in my part of consciousness and my part of my emotional stuff that is part of the whole collective of humanity. Who knows who else I was tapping into at the same time? Who knows? I don't really know. If I was, if I wasn't, I don't know any of that either. But I do know that what I was feeling was certainly mine. But I also knew that it wasn't me. It was something that I could observe and witness as an experience, and witness as a phenomenon I was going through right then and there. I had a technical difficulty, little technical thing there, and I resolved it. So I don't remember exactly where I was in what I was saying, so I'm going to just take a stab at it, okay? Hopefully I can edit it to the right stuff. Anyway, I was talking about the situation I had this morning where I was having a lot of grief and whatever, and then I was talking about how the way to alchemize that, and you just let it come through and experience it fully, and honor it really, and then observe it like it's not you. It's something you have there. It's not me. It's what was there with me. So anyway, when in the process of the observation of it, it alchemizes it. And you don't judge it, you don't, blame, none of that stuff. It's just like it's experience, right? It's one of the experiences that I believe that every experience I've ever had has led me to where I am right now and who I am right now, and has equipped me for what I am needing to do right now, which is it's transformation, it's ascension to 5D. it's to help other people, you know? Like, in any case, so where I was at on that was that experience, and everyone really, but that in those experiences, I regret not one second of anything that led up to those experiences. Not 1 second. Well, looking at, like, if you watched one of my earlier videos, you know, the nose kind of thing, I could have done without that. Maybe that's what it took for me to get the lesson. I don't know, but I know when the pain is great enough, for me anyway, the lesson seems to be more valuable. It's like, I'm not going to forget that one. But anyway, as far as like, you know, all one from earlier, I regret not a second. I value it. I honor it. I'm grateful for everything, every second of everything that led me even to that grief, you know, because I hold nothing bad there. I only hold love, absolute love, and gratitude. Gratitude. So in the process of growth and transformation, I believe that we have to shift out of our ego-bound parameters, service to self at the expense of others, and shift our footing and our perception into the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is the truth that resonates, you know? It's the truth. And the truth is always freeing. And the truth brings beauty. Truth always brings beauty. With everything that's coming here already, but uncovering, there'll be things that a lot of people will freak out. I'm not even going to tell you the one that came to mind, but it's happening in Italy. Germany. Like right now, in the last, I don't know, couple of weeks this happened because of the floods. If you want to go and search what was happening with the floods in Germany, don't go to Google, it's not there. You go to, like, search with DuckDuckGo or something. If you want to find out what the people have been seeing that's coming in those waters, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be awfully, awfully traumatized. There's already people traumatized by the things they're uncovering here. And I mean, I've been called things, I've been thought badly of by lots of people because of my views on things. But I don't hold that against anybody at all. Anybody. And I just want to say, like, this, I guess, is an opportunity to say that. When the time comes, and it will, where anyone, people I know, people I have had, friendships with or whatever, who kind of have turned away from me because of my thoughts and feelings on things that I really believe to be my truth. When it happens that they need someone to understand and not blame them when they've got to let go of ideas they never thought they would even have to even face, I'm here and my heart is open. Just so you know, I hold nothing against anybody at all. I know what the programming is about, and I know what it's done to people, and I know it's what the agendas have been. And the fact that, I personally have been kind of the brunt of things from, areas I never ever even considered I ever would be. Didn't occur to me. I don't think I've done too much to hurt people, but anyway, doesn't matter. But I just want you to know that my purpose and my role is I want to help people get through things they need to get through, and they will have to get through. If I'm here, if I'm in Kentucky, come see me. I'm gonna have a house where you can stay. If I can get across the border. Hopefully by September I should be able to. I hope so. But like my doors, my heart and my doors will never close to you. Ever. Well, for the fact that I had technical difficulties with my camera, kind of put me off the rails there for a little bit. I can't quite seem to get my footing back onto the rails again with this little talk. Maybe that means I've done enough. I don't know. What can I tell you? I can tell you that this is my yard. Maybe I won't do that. I was going to say maybe I'll take my camera and shoot a little bit of stuff around the yard so that, I can cut to something when I edit this. You may get tired of looking at my face. I know I do. Do you know, with everything that I've gone through in my entire life, and there's been a lot of stuff that I've not even talked about yet, which, there's a lot. I don't regret 1 second, other than the fist in the face. I don't regret 1 second of any of it. And I actually don't blame anybody for any of it at all. There's somebody I've never met but admire said something that made a lot of sense to me. When you're in a battle, when you're in the middle of a battle, you do not forgive your enemy. When the battle is won and you walk away from it, you forgive then. If you forgive in the middle of a battle, you're weakened. Your power is taken away. You're weakened, and you may not win the battle. You may lose because your heart has gone into that. When I say battle, I mean like the battle we're in right now. It's the battle for good and evil. It's the battle we're in right now is the battle for consciousness. It's the battle for the consciousness of humanity. That's what it's a battle for. Not a battle for vaccines. Oop. I hope that doesn't get me banned from YouTube. If so, I better start like a Rumble channel or a BitChute or something. But right now we don't know when we're losing our power. You can lose your power any minute of any day, any time. You can give your power away. And you do that by not connecting with and standing in your sovereignty, and be willing to stand for your truth. Be willing to, you don't have to assert your truth. Why would you do that? You don't have to do any of that. But you do have to stand for your truth for yourself. And every time you don't, you give your power away. Every time you stand for your truth, and you stand for your truth in love, you empower yourself. The light is what needs the power right now. What we need, and this is the point I think I want to make and then end this video, and this is the point that is, everything I've worked up to is actually for this point. And it's how vital it is right now, this second, and every now moment, to have your frequency above fear. I do not say that lightly. I do not say that lightly. When you are afraid, even a little bit, you are subjected to the forces in the third density that will take you down. And they do that by controlling you and controlling your consciousness, controlling your mind, subjugating you to tyranny and slavery, the slavery we've all been under for a very long time. When you are in a frequency of fear, like, get what I'm saying? When you're in fear for any reason, you are putting your frequency right into that third dynamic, third density, third dimension, third density. And that third density is where control is. It's where the control and slavery comes from, is the third density. If you come up into the fifth density, all that involves is don't have the fear. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you shift into your fifth density, which is love, compassion, understanding, and not fear, do not fear anything. In my case, not even a hornet, right? I'm not going to say watch him come back and sting me, because I really don't want that to happen. And I can make it happen. But if you keep your density and your frequency high, above fear, all you got to do is just be not afraid of anything, anything. The lower frequencies and the lower densities can't touch you. You're immune. Do you know that? You're immune. You're immune. If you do not go into fear, don't buy it. Don't buy anything that doesn't make sense to you. If there's something being pushed on you that does not resonate with you, doesn't feel like it's the right thing for any reason, for 1% of a reason, 1% of a feeling, for God's sake, and your own sake, and everybody else's sake, for the sake of yourself and your loved ones, do not go into that fear band. Don't agree. Don't agree. You don't have to be mean about it. You just got to say, I don't consent. No, consent. I don't agree with that. No, it's not where I stand. It's not who I am. It's not what I am. Nope, not going to go there. Nope. It can never touch you then. It can't touch you. The lower frequencies cannot, they can't filter into, impinge, or even attack a higher frequency. They can't do it. They go away from it. They cannot be around it. They go away from it. And I'm talking about like really evil things you're going to see. I'm talking about it all. You're going to see stuff you wouldn't even believe. But you're going to see it. You're going to see it and you're going to know about it. In the next year or two, you're going to know about it. Even that, no matter what scares you, you stand in your frequency of strength and power, and that frequency that's bad, it'll turn away from you. I'll tell you a little thing that happened to me, and that's the point I wanted to make actually, was that. And if you want help with that, if I can help you in any way, you let me know. You let me know. I'm here for about another, well, we don't know how long. Possibly a month. Contact me, message me. If you want to get with me, I will be happy to have a cup of tea with you. I'll be happy to sit on my deck here with you, so long as I have my deck. Like, I'll be happy to do that. If I can assist in any way, help you, stay on the right path, which is yourself and your truth, I will do that. Years ago, I was in Toronto and I was playing a lot of, like, I made my living as a singer and musician back then, not a photographer. Although that was a surprise to some people at one point. Anyway, I was on a subway train, and I was going to one of my gigs. I think it was Don Valley or somewhere, the Holiday Inn Don Valley, not that it matters. But anyway, I was sitting there, and I always, sit there and listen to my music or whatever on my way to my gig. And I saw these two young girls. They'd be like, I don't know, 12, 14. They were young. They were sitting together, and they were talking. And I just kind of noticed them, and I thought, oh, they look like nice little girls. I was just kind of looking at them. They were happy. And then I felt this really bad energy. And I thought, it was like a thought that came into my head. It was a bad one. It was an evil one. And I went, whoa, that's not my thought, because it wasn't. Holy shit, where's that coming from? This wasn't mine. And I looked around and I saw a man. He was sitting like about kitty corner. He was not far from them, but he could see them. And he was watching them, he was looking at them. This guy had, honest to God, I swear to you, I could see his pictures. I could see his mind. I've been able to do that actually from time to time when I put attention on it. It saved me a few times, quite frankly. Anyway, another hitchhiking stories. Another time. Anyway, I saw what was in his mind, and it was like horrible. And I don't have kids, but boy, my mama bear instinct kicked in like full force, like an army. And I saw what he was thinking. And I looked at him, and if I could have been a laser beam, it would have burned him. Maybe it was, maybe I did. But anyway, I zeroed in on this guy, and I targeted this guy, just like a, and I saw him kind of do this, and then he kind of looked and he saw me, and he looked at me like I'd caught him. And man, he looked away real fast, and he looked down, he didn't look up again. And those girls got off eventually. That happened. That happened to me in a subway in Toronto. I know the power. I know the power. I am it, and I have it. It got squashed a whole lot along the way, and it got beaten up, and literally, and it got like shoved in a dark room for a long time, and I never forgot I had it, but I mostly forgot until I was able to get it back again. And I have a few experiences to really thank for that. Really grateful for getting back my power and getting back my music. I'm really grateful for that. Thank you. Thank you. You have that power too. You are that power. It's just knowing that and being willing to own it. And as I say at the end of every video, thank you. Thank you for, I shared some stuff with you today. Thank you for being there for me. I really do love you, I love that you're here. I love that we're all a part of this together. And I love that we're all, as I said before, we're all going to the same place because we're already here. It's just a shift in perception. And I'm here. Any of my friends who need me? You got to do the work too, though. I can't do it for you. But I can sure as hell help. Anyway, it's a beautiful day today. I love my house. I love my house. Maybe I'll do a video before I leave and just kind of take the camera around and show you my house and maybe tell you a little story about this room or that room or whatever. I don't know, would you like that? Maybe I'd be doing that as a self-indulgent thing. Maybe I'll do it just for me. And maybe I'll share it. And if you want to watch it, you can. If you don't, whatever. It's all fine. Anyway, Thank you again for spending this time with me today. It's a beautiful day, and I've been making a big crock of soup in there, vegetarian soup. I hope it tastes okay. Like I experiment with shit. You never know. It could be good, it could not. I don't know, but hopefully it's okay. Thank you. I love you. I really do. Really do.